Good evening, guys. Good evening once again. Welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. And we are about to reach that 5,000K mark, and we are on the last mile to that point now. And when that happens, I am going to be in camera so that we get to connect very well with the face that you see on videos, and that is a promise that I intend to keep. Thank you guys for supporting my channel, and kindly watch all the ads in full. That's how we can support the channel. For now, it really goes a long way. And to those that are watching my ads in full already, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. But we are not there. The focus of the moment is that of the BELA Act. You know, this BELA Act has been something. Do you remember when now with the from the ANC camp, it looked like apartheid is back in South Africa, that we're seeing apartheid in a very fresh way? Do you remember that when we were mobilized and we ended up seeing t-shirts like "Do not unalive Chrisani again"? I was like, what is going on? What is going on? What is it that is happening that we don't know of? I was asking myself so many questions, and to me, it looks like Banyazali Sufi was the person that was used to usher in the BELA Act so that we can believe that there are those white people that are fighting against the BELA Act. So they don't want the black child to succeed. You know, they don't want us to see us participating in their schools. You know, it became this big thing. I was like, what is going on? Is there anything that is happening in South Africa I knew that I don't know of? And before you know it, the BELA Act was signed. You know, and I'm going to be sharing those clips, but first we're going to read some screenshots. And we're like, don't unalive Christian again. Comrade President, sign the BELA Act. The 13th is like our Liberation Day. You know, never and never again. I was like, you know, for some reason, for me, those videos were very offensive. I don't know why, but something in me just didn't sit well with those videos. Where is that energy now? Is because we have signed the BELA Act. That was the goal. We have signed the BELA Act, and us black people were like, sign it, President. You know, sign it so that the pen can go straight to Helen Zille. The pen can go straight to the Democratic Alliance. And now South Africans are like, this BELA Act, it was not for us. It was not for South Africans. And what I would like to do first, before we hear from Afriforum, please let us read these screenshots together. And the first screenshot reads, just in President Cyril Ramaphosa and Education Minister Cyril Gwarube have been served with letters of demand over the promulgation of the BELA Act. Afriforum and Solidarity argue that the proclamation is irrational and unconstitutional. They have been given 10 days to respond. You know what you're going to notice with the video clips that I'm going to share of Afriforum? You hear a group of people that are fighting for their own language, fighting their own people, like white Afrikaners. Do you get? So, what are we fighting for our own people now? What is our own fight against this BELA Act? So, and somebody posted, the BELA Act has just legitimized illegal foreigners' kids to enroll at our schools. What does this mean? It means it has also legalized them and their parents as South Africans. Remember, illegal kids, when they turn 18, Concord said they become citizens. What a mess. So, as usual, whatever your thoughts are, kindly share them in the comment section so that we share views on this matter. And this one posted said, I see, that was when the BELA Act was just signed. I see that many black people are celebrating the implementation of BELA Act. How is that going to improve the lives of the poor masses? You know, for me, the BELA Act is like the naming of the streets. When a lot of millions will go towards that, when we have urgent matters that need our attention. And this one said, I asked this question yesterday. BELA Act has nothing to do with South Africans. Clause 4 and 5 invites parents from Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Mozambique, Malawi, all over Africa to send their children illegally to study in South Africa. ANC is a recipe for disaster. You know, if we check the laws of South Africa and check what the ANC is doing, this is a mess of a cocktail, I'm telling you. The bill prevents the deportation of illegal immigrants as long as they have a child. Once you allow children of illegal immigrants into schools, you can't deport their parents. So what are your views in this? What are your views? Because we have the laws of South Africa saying something else, and then comes the BELA Act. So, hey, man, it is so confusing. And this one said, the ANC continues to sell our country, and some of us are busy celebrating BELA Act. So, you know, there's also a video clip I saw of a parent that is saying her life is a mess now because of the BELA Act. Her child is confused. A lot of black people seem to have realized only now how dangerous the BELA Act is, especially on the topic of illegal immigration into South Africa. They were convinced it was about language policy, but totally missed sections about undocumented children, which is also applicable to the children of illegal foreigners. Guys, please share your comments in the comment section on this. I know we've been over and over this BELA Act thing, and the more you look at it, you just realize, you know what, there isn't much for South Africans in that BELA Act. Yeah. This one says, the concern for me with the BELA process was the ease at which black politicians mobilized black hate towards white minorities, South Africans, and Afrikaners as a language. This needs to change, all right. And really, that's what happened. We were suddenly mobilized that there is this new racism and we need to fight against white people because they don't want to see us flourish. They don't want us to get better education. They don't want us to do, it is not all rosy between us and some white people do get. It is not all rosy. Racism is still here in South Africa, here and there. But you see, my problem is that whenever politicians, quote unquote, black politicians, fail in doing something that is to benefit this country, they go to race. They mobilize us. They use us as their tools using race. That's what happened with the BELA Act. And now people are like, hold on. What is going on here? You see? So please, guys, share in the comment section. So if you stay long enough with me on this video, I'm going to share videos of Afriforum after these Lesotho ones.
During break, what's wrong that our children should be in a position to go to a school that is next door to them? So to our president, Friday the 13th is a liberation day for all of us. Friday the 13th is one thing and one thing only. BELA Act must be implemented in full, and BELA Act must represent the future. So that's what skills development is all about, comrades. Comrades, I want to conclude by saying, young people, I beg you, young people, I'm pleading with you. Don't be members of other members, and don't allow elderly people to influence you.
You've been listening in.
Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Comrades, tomorrow is a critical day. A day where we have to choose to defend our children or to surrender to those that hate us. Tomorrow, signal a very important act that the South African Democratic Teachers Union has already taken a decision to write to our president in no uncertain terms, urging our president to do one thing and one thing only: allow BELA Act to kick in without any further delay tomorrow morning. We urge this conference to add its voice. We urge this special conference to be on the side of our children, to add your voice as the South African Communist Party. You'll bring an end to discrimination to our children and indignity of our children. Never and never again will our children be decided whether they enter a school premises or not on the basis of the color of their skin or the language that they speak. Comrades, the agenda of BELA Bill or BELA Act, if it fails, comrades, there is no way that the agenda of NHI will succeed, because the enemy would have tasted blood that they can push us back. So this is the period, comrades, where we need to stand firm together. This is the period, for the sake of our children in our country, betrayal is not an option. This is the period, comrades, where cowards must step aside. We, the brave, will go forward. Periods like this want us to strengthen our forces. Periods like this want a very strong and agile alliance. Comrades, we are not children of cowards.
When you say the president acted irrationally by signing this particular piece of legislation in full without any amendments, are you not in a way overstepping? Because some people are going to say the president gave this process 3 months. This was over and above him applying his mind to the law before him, before it became law, before he signed it into law. Simply, I'm trying to get to the question about this, and many people saying it took a long time before this piece of legislation was approved. So when you're going to say the president acted irrationally, what do you have to provide as some kind of proof?
Well, the proof we have is documents that we have that were signed by government itself. Our colleagues from Solidarity at NETLAC went into an agreement mandated by the President, signed by the Minister of Basic Education, in which it states that the proposal would be that certain sections of the BELA Act will not be promulgated until such time as there are adequate norms and standards developed. And of course, there was then also advice from the Minister of Basic Education sent to the President, stating that it is common cause that there are not sufficient norms and standards and regulations for certain sections to be promulgated, and that should not be done at the moment until such time as the relevant norms and standards has been developed. So it is actually irrational, while that is common cause, that there are not norms and standards to go ahead and promulgate certain sections, especially because it now creates a dangerous situation that those people, for instance, the Gauteng government, that are attacking Afrikaans schools can now abuse this process because there are not clear guidelines for them, and that is irrational, and we believe we have a strong case.
All we are saying is there's a real danger at the moment that those parties are simply co-opted by the ANC in the Government of National Unity to implement ANC policy. And that is their decision, if that is something that they can live with. We know that there are also a number of other serious legislation that has to be considered by the Government of National Unity, such as the National Health Insurance. And the question is, would the same happen there as what happened with the BELA Act? This act was not supposed to be promulgated or even signed in its current form. And those parties will have to ask themselves the question, did our presence in cabinet make a difference? Would it have been worse if we weren't here? Because what we've seen is the worst thing any government can do, and that is to govern against a part of a community, targeting them, getting legislation that we can see was specifically written to target Afrikaans schools, and to then promulgate that. That is something that the whole Government of National Unity should ask themselves serious questions, because they have now become a government of national disunity.
I really do believe that we were mobilized using race and apartheid history, so that we remove our eyes on what was truly important on that BELA Act, so that we focus on the language issues and be told that, you know what, this is what white people want. There's this huge fight against us. We are fighting this war against black people. Never and never again that our children shall be deprived. You know, you heard Lesotho there. You heard Lesotho there. So I do believe that we were really mobilized using race. In order for this BELA Act to go through. So all the time, that's what I'm saying, you know, all these games that politicians play, we are part of it. We are part of it. Most of the time, we are the tool that make plans of these politicians to succeed. And we can also be the tool that makes the plans of the politicians to fail if we understand that we are a part of this game. We are the biggest part of this game as the community of South Africa. So also, I just want to leave you with a video of one lady also. I just want to see your views on this one. And when the battle was on against the BELA Act from the DA and maybe Afriforum, I don't know whether Afriforum participated then, but I remember the Democratic Alliance. This lady also was saying, no, it is only about making sure that a black child does not get the education that they also deserve, because white people are being territorial with that. So now I would like you to watch what this lady said. And with that, guys, I would like to say thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and kindly watch my ads in full. And if you already do so, I really appreciate you watching my ads in full. And if you have time and you're on Wi-Fi, please, that's how you can support my channel. Kindly watch my ads in full. Just a little bit patient. I know sometimes you just don't want to watch any ads. You just want to get into the matter, into the content of the video, and you just don't want to watch any ads. But guys, I really appreciate it. With that, guys, do have a beautiful night. Looking forward to reading your comments in the comment section.
Each time I see something like this, then I think, I don't know if I must be embarrassed. I don't know if I must apologize. I don't know what to do when things like this happen. Because if anyone with 2 brain cells actually has read the BELA bill, it's not about anything except integration, okay? And the way the propaganda and the lies from the Democratic Alliance and the Solidarity Movement, which is the Afriforums and the like, have been spread, the way that thousands of white people rocked up there to march, okay? And you know what they're marching against? Equality in education. That's what they're marching against. Don't let anyone tell you anything else. They are worried about their little white kids having black kids in their schools. That is why this is such a big hot button for the Solidarity Movement. So like I say, I'm never sure what to do in situations like this. I don't know if I must apologize because I am fucking embarrassed that white people are behaving this way. And yes, there are a splatter of black people in there, but if you look carefully on the photos that the DA circulated earlier, a lot of the black people have got reflective vests on, so they're working, all right? But they're holding up boards saying, hands off our schools. But then there are boards, leave our children alone. Los ons skole uit. It is... I'm sorry, but also another thing is I don't understand. The Solidarity Movement and the Democratic Alliance are the biggest culprits when it comes to fear-mongering and spreading white victimhood in this country. However, they have got thousands of people, white people, in the streets, just showing how they disrespect the majority of people in this country and how they stand against equality. I don't know. I'm done with the rant.